Drive through any industrial estate on the island of Ireland, and you see dozens of small and medium enterprises operating side by side. Physically, they share the same streets, the same weather, and the same local workforce. But financially, they exist in total isolation. Every single one of those businesses negotiates its own electricity contract. When global energy markets spike, they absorb the shock entirely alone. When cash flow tightens, they have zero collective leverage to push back against rising overhead. The macroeconomy tries to help. The state writes policy, private markets offer financial products, and charities provide community safety nets. Yet none of those systems actually penetrate the day-to-day, business-to-business reality inside a local enterprise park. To fix this, we have to look backward, specifically to the ancient Irish concept of the tuath. Historically, a tuath was a localized, interconnected realm of relationships. It was an ecosystem of mutual support. Look at the industrial estate through that lens. Those separate, dormant warehouses suddenly emerge as an invisible, highly potent network. We are looking at massive, fragmented energy use, acres of wasted roof space, and localized cash that is completely disconnected. Activating this latent financial capacity requires a trusted local convener who can weave those fragmented flows back together. And right now, the blueprint for exactly how to do that is being tested in Ballysimon, Limerick. In Ballysimon, a local social enterprise called the Urban Cooperative steps into the void. Instead of functioning solely as a retailer, they act as an anchor, bringing together 200 local SMEs into a single unified energy commons. This diagram shows the immediate mechanical advantage of that aggregation. 200 vulnerable businesses are merged into one massive block of purchasing power. That unified demand creates the leverage to negotiate an instant 15% drop in wholesale energy bills. But the group discount is a secondary benefit. The primary advantage is that an aggregated block of 200 businesses becomes incredibly bankable to renewable energy providers. That verified demand guarantees long-term usage, which brings the upfront capital cost for solar panels and wind turbines down to absolute zero for the SMEs. The infrastructure providers install the hardware for free, recouping their investment through highly secure, forward-paid energy contracts spread out over the next 10 years. We can map the baseline math of the Ballysimon prototype directly. 200 businesses spending an average of €20,000 annually generates a localized energy pool of €4 million. Applying that 15% discount releases €600,000 of liquidity annually. Over a 10-year contract, that stacks up to €6 million kept firmly inside the local industrial estate. This mechanism takes electricity, which is usually a bleeding operational cost draining out to global utility firms, and turns it into a massive engine for local capital retention. To manage this, the Urban Cooperative utilizes a digital platform called Tuatha Gra. It operates as the nervous system for the estate, recording every energy commitment, verifying the savings, and automatically diverting a tiny percentage into a shared local energy treasury. Once that high-trust digital network is in place, it activates a secondary economic capability, direct trade debt settlement between the businesses themselves. This cycle maps out mutual credit in action. Instead of needing liquid euros for every transaction, local businesses can clear routine B2B invoices, like catering, basic maintenance, and local supplies, by offsetting what they owe each other through the central Tuatha Gra ledger. The obligations simply cancel out. Ballysimon proves the mechanics, but to understand the true economic weight of the model, we have to scale it outward. This map illustrates the island-wide potential. If we replicate the Limerick prototype across 300 enterprise clusters, we unite 45,000 distinct SMEs, both north and south of the border. Look at the math at that scale. Aggregating those nodes retains over €120 million in SME capital every single year, capital that stays inside local supply chains instead of leaking out to international energy markets. Pairing a transparent digital ledger with a physical cooperative energy block generates a self-reinforcing buffer against external price volatility for local supply chains. The sheer scale of these projects establishes social enterprise as essential economic infrastructure. This moves far beyond charitable activity and into the realm of core utility management. Our traditional economy relies on three primary estates: the state, the private market, and civil society. But this structure leans precariously. None possess the hyper-local convening power required to organize trust networks. This is the fourth estate. Social enterprises perfectly fill that exact void. Adopting this model redefines their role from community support to primary economic coordinator. They move from the margins of civic life into a primary seat at the economic table. If every industrial estate across the island empowers a trusted social enterprise to coordinate its resources, the economy structurally shifts. It will naturally lower costs, it will hold local trust, and it will regenerate regional economies from the ground up.